Coming up in this episode...
And there it is. You can peer through the door. It's a bit like a silent disco, to be honest.
We then walk straight into the dreaded kids' entertainment. Below the castle, they've dug tunnels partially reinforced with concrete. Stu is still battling with the electrical issue.
And underneath the rows of trees, I will see you where the ocean meets the sky. Under your toes, the fire grows. You are ready for a different kind of life.
We left you in the last episode having had a challenging morning with no electrics in Harry. And we'd just arrived at Książ Castle.
So we're parked up. That's extra. That was 20 zloty, which is £4. So that's a total so far of about £28 for entrance to here, the Palm place that we're going to go to, and parking. I don't think there's any more cost. It's apparently about a 15-minute walk to the palace, but they recommend it because it's a nice forest walk. And there it is. There's a hotel on the front of it, I think. Or maybe the hotel, possibly. The castle towards the back end of it. I think that's the hotel part, but I'm not sure. Looks like it's newer. Ticket office is at the top, but we bought online tickets, so we'll see how that goes. It's supposed to rain today. It's really hot. So as I thought, the castle's at the back of the hotel, which we just passed. There is a ticket office here if you need to get tickets.
Książ Castle is Poland's third largest castle and built in 1288. Known as the Pearl of Silesia, this majestic fortress blends Gothic, Baroque and Renaissance styles across over 400 rooms. We wandered from room to room, learning about those who owned and lived here on the audio guide. The castle was owned for centuries by the wealthy Hochberg family, including the glamorous Princess Daisy, born Mary Theresa Cornwallis of England, and her husband Hans Henrik XV, Prince of Pless.
It's a bit like a silent disco, to be honest. Everybody walking around, not talking to each other.
Apparently, Daisy was a spirited socialite who was apparently well known for sledging down the castle's grand staircase. In 1911, she posed in a luxurious ermine coat for a portrait used on the family's Christmas cards, although frowned upon by some as ermine was supposed to be worn only by royalty. Looks a lovely terrace for a drink.
This is quite a bottleneck. You can peer through the door to look into the life of Miss Princess Daisy.
Unfortunately, we couldn't get the camera to the peephole.
The conclusion was it wasn't actually worth the wait.
It's the hunting room.
We made our way around the rooms, although many were empty of any furniture.
We were just saying there was no furniture so far, but we found some. These are the rooms of Princess Daisy.
Unfortunately, by 1941 the Nazis had seized the castle. In 1944 it became part of a secretive Nazi construction project. Below the castle they've dug tunnels partially reinforced with concrete and were likely intended for secure storage or command operations. Nazi gold was rumoured to be stored here, but this has never been confirmed. And if you wanted to, you could buy extra tickets to have a tunnel tour. This is the breathtaking Maximilian Hall, a grand room with an iconic Baroque ceiling. adorned with intricate stucco work and vibrant frescoes. This opulent space was used for lavish banquets, balls and ceremonial events, hosting nobility in style. The castle and the grounds are definitely worth a visit.
It's set for a Lifos PO4.
Charges this bulk absorption of float. The float is the one that it should go to once it's charged it up.
So we just got back from the castle. I was going to have a bite to eat before we go down to the Palmitarian or something. I think it's palm trees under glass, I think. Not quite sure, I think it's like a garden centre. So I'm just having baguette, my ham and some French cheese, which is really nice. Auto campers call me. It's a Sunday today and it's bank holiday back home. So bless them, they call me. Carl did, we went through basic checks. Don't quite understand obviously why it's gone from 92% and discharged the battery overnight, although we have had challenges with the app, which has got some bugs in, and when it does crash sometimes it's difficult to get it back to show the true rate of state of charge. But obviously there's a problem because obviously it's discharged. So tonight I'm going to recharge the battery using the Bluetti, so I'm going to get that charged fully from driving round, and then I've got a battery charger, I think it's 20 amp I want to say, so I should connect that to try and give it a big boost to see if we can get it back up and recharging again. So that'll be the next step.
So we bought a joint ticket that gave us access to the castle as well as this location that's a mile or so away.
I have to say, buying the tickets online in advance certainly made the communication a lot easier. The farmhouse is linked to Princess Daisy as it was her husband's initiative to build it for her. She was a lover of beautiful plants and flowers. The building of the farmhouse is said to have taken place between 1908 and 1911. Apparently it cost a considerable amount of time and money.
Jane loves the grasses. You're into them, aren't you?
They filled the buildings with brand new species not seen in the area before.
We then walked straight into the dreaded kids' entertainment. With the sound of the occasional ooh-ah from the pirates, we navigated a course to distance ourselves.
Apparently the prince shipped in large amounts of lava from the Etna volcano in Sicily.
And to be honest, it was just nice, meandering around, taking our minds off the challenges of the day. Well, in the main, it was quiet and peaceful.
The rose garden was Princess Daisy's favourite and has a rose named after her, simply called Daisy. The buildings provided the wider estate gardens with the many species that you see today.
Impressive array of bonsai trees. We were just saying that we saw reviews about some of the staff being unfriendly at both these locations, but I have to say we've had no issues whatsoever. They've been really nice. I think that old reviews, don't be put off by them. There are the Triffids. And looks like they sell everything they grow. Wow. 16, 10. These are the smallest that you will see. The size of those specimens.
This is paradise.
Jane doesn't want to leave.
Jane doesn't. then we couldn't get out of the exit, as Captain Hook had blocked our way.
Is what we'll do. Now we have the movie and I am mighty crew.
We've decided to do a few miles to try and charge the battery. But Stu also needs to try one other trick with the Bluetti later, but that'll be once we find a park up. Our channel relies on you, so please hit that like and subscribe button and share us with your social media. We're also on Instagram and Facebook, and if you want to support us further, we have a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description.
So this is a park for night spot. There's a lake and a sort of a beach area, so families come, I think.
Yeah.
But you've just been reading some reviews, haven't we? That's
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, it's the perfect shape.
there's a drifting shape. So there's a. I think it's fairly innocent, but there's people that drift, so we could get disturbed at night because it's a big car park. I suppose that's the reality, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're going to go and try a smaller one that's 15 minutes away, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I want to get settled for the night. Because I want to do this battery recharge.
Yeah.
There's plenty of spaces.
Loads of space.
The reviews, weirdly enough, the reviews are all 4 or 5 star, even though they've had drifting at night.
Yeah.
But so it obviously didn't bother them. But you can see it's perfect. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I've gone the wrong way. It's a perfect drifting track.
Aren't you tempted?
Eh?
Aren't you tempted?
Of course, you only need somebody to get out of control, and I might have another problem, not just my battery.
Yeah.
So there seems to be lots of towers in Poland they do, where
Yeah,
I don't know what they are, but there seems to be a lot of electricity goes to them. So I'm assuming they're collection points for power. Seems an expensive way to, instead of a telegraph pole. Maybe it's telecoms.
Yeah, maybe.
So we seek a quieter spot that's not too far away.
I just happened to spot this one. Just as I was driving past, I saw another van parked here, so just want something that's going to be okay for the night. So we just parked up for the night. Got a nice little park up actually. We found in the end. It wasn't the next one. It was actually, we were driving along and I happened to see a car park sign, and I saw another van parked in there. It looked really nice, like a forest one. So it's quite quiet compared to the other one. No chances of boy races, etc. I would say here. Anyway, I need to get on with the battery charge, and I just come to take the cover off where the battery. I've just come to take where the cover off the battery is, and the fuse that I put on earlier, the 30 amp one, hasn't blown. It's don't know if you can see it. It's actually, I don't know if you can see it there. Anyway, it's still intact, but it's obviously been charging a lot because obviously it's in there, and it's enough to melt the plastic off, which slightly worries me. But it's not been enough to blow the fuse. So whether these are cheap fuses, and they probably are, I don't know. Because the fuse is, like I said, it hasn't blown the fuse. It's only just the plastic holder that you hold on to. Anyway, I'm going to press ahead because I've got no other choice really. I'm going to, I always carry since the first incident a few years ago when I had battery problems, I bought a battery charger, which is a automatic battery charger for different styles of batteries. It's a 20 amp charger. So hopefully I'm going to use the Bluetti, and I will use the Bluetti to actually charge the leisure battery is my plan. Right, let's say it's got lithium, AGM or LiFo PO4, which I believe my battery is. So you switch it to the right mode. it's a 20 amp charger, or it's up to 20 amp. You can have different lower amperages than that. So that's off, that's off. So that's all connected up down there. Let's power it on. So that's showing it's depleted. You can see it's all the way down at 20%, so it's definitely has been discharged as I thought, and as the actually app was showing me. It's showing that it's 13.9 volts and 13.6 amps is going into it by the looks of it. Oh no, so that's charged really fast. It's now gone up to 60% solid, interestingly enough. So I wonder how long this will take to charge fully up. So it's now ramping up to 20 amps charge. Actually, the battery looks pretty good. It's now at 80%, and I'm literally probably 2 minutes into it. So I'm wondering whether it had fully discharged. I'm going to wait until this says battery full. So I think one of the challenges I have is that I'm not that technical. I'm not electrical technical, to be honest. So a little knowledge is always dangerous. I think what I tend to revert to is logic, and obviously logic tells me something caused it, but I don't know what. Sometimes fuses do go from, you know, maybe a surge, or maybe there's a fault in the wiring, you know, that's always there. Now, the only thing is, I would say at the moment, if there's a fault in the wiring, it hasn't occurred since, because it hasn't blown the fuse since. I think they're probably cheap fuses I've bought and sense the melting, but again, that worries me because that means it's hot. But you know, wires get hot with electricity going through them anyway. And that's what the fuses are there for. It'll be interesting to see how long now the battery charger takes to charge that up. But when I was speaking to Lifos about that, they told me that the app gets to a point where it doesn't actually deliver very good information, and that you've got to do a soft reset. So this is a soft reset that they're telling me, which is to completely discharge, which it already has done, and then completely recharge it using a battery charger, and wait until the battery charger says it's full, because the battery charger will be reading the battery correct. But it gets in the way of the trip a bit, because all you do is start thinking about that and nothing else. Guess it's just having a camper van.
We need to eat. Unfortunately, we have that cooked chicken from yesterday's curry.
So that's the result. I do like the bigger pasta, I must admit. It's really nice. And that's my view from the side of the van. Okay, interesting development. I've literally just finished tea and it's stopped charging as the charger says it's full, which I'm slightly surprised at. We've used 60% of the Bluetti, which I'm pleased about. I thought I was going to run out of enough power to carry on charging, but I'm surprised that says full. I guess all I can do now is connect all the terminals back up. Then it says to delete the app, reinstall the app and see what it says.
Well, I never got around to taking some photos earlier. So as you can see, it's dusk now. Everybody else has left the car park, so I thought there'd be others that might stay the night. So it's just us. Must admit, it's been a bit of a stressful day today. You've always got it in your mind. We had a great day going to the castle and then to the Parliamentarium, which was really good actually. But you've always got that thing in your background when there's something going on, and we'll see. I say I've got quite a bit of driving to do the next 7 days, so that might get to improving the state of charge, and that's we'll see.
With Stu's mind turning over about the challenges, we try and get some sleep, as tomorrow is a new day.